You are cruising down the road and everything feels perfectly normal, but then you look down and see that annoying orange check engine light staring you right in the face. You hook up your scanner and find code P00A3 which points to the exhaust gas temperature, or EEGT, sensor circuit being high on bank 2, sensor 2. Now, do not let the technical name intimidate you. This sensor is basically just a very rugged thermometer that lives in one of the most brutal environments on your entire vehicle. Its whole job in life is to watch the temperature of the exhaust gases before they enter your catalytic converter or your diesel particulate filter. The engine computer uses this data to make sure your emission system does not turn into a molten puddle of metal from excessive heat. If the computer senses a circuit high condition, it means the voltage coming back from the sensor is way above the normal range, which usually tells the computer that there is an open circuit or a sensor that has completely failed internally. Bank 2 refers to the side of the engine that does not contain cylinder number 1, and sensor 2 tells us we are looking at the one further down the line. Most of these sensors are simple resistors that change their electrical resistance based on heat. The computer sends a steady 5-volt signal down one wire, and the sensor bleeds some of that to ground through the other wire. High temperature means low resistance and higher voltage, while low temperature means high resistance and lower voltage. However, if a wire breaks or a connector unplugs, the voltage stays pinned at the maximum, and that is exactly when this code triggers. The first thing I always tell people to check is the wiring pigtail and the connector itself. Since these live right next to the scorching hot exhaust pipes, it is incredibly common for the plastic insulation to become brittle and crack, or for the wires to melt together. Get underneath the vehicle and follow the wires from the sensor up to the main harness. If you see any bare copper or melted plastic, you have found your problem. Another sneaky thing that causes this code is when people install an aftermarket catback exhaust system. A lot of these kits do not have a bung for the original sensor, or the sensor is left dangling in the breeze where it cannot read the exhaust heat correctly. If your wiring looks like $1,000,000, grab your digital multimeter and do an ohm test on the sensor pins. A healthy sensor should read somewhere around 150 ohms at room temperature. If you want to be really thorough, you can use a hairdryer or a heat gun to gently warm the sensor while watching your meter. You should see the resistance numbers smoothly drop as it gets hotter. If the numbers stay stuck or jump all over the place, the sensor is toast. While some people try to trick the computer by plugging in a 2.2 ohm resistor to clear the light, I really recommend fixing it properly. Your catalytic converter is a very expensive piece of hardware, and having a working sensor is the only way the computer can adjust the fuel mixture and timing to keep that converter from burning up.